everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving deep into a book that literally changed the way I look at money, success, and life. It's none other than Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you're someone who's ever wondered why some people keep getting richer while others seem to struggle forever, even though they work really hard, this book is for you. But instead of throwing a bunch of financial jargon at you, I'm going to explain it in a way that feels like we're just two friends talking about life. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let me tell you the story that changed my mindset forever. Chapter 1. The Two Dads. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. His real dad, whom he calls his poor dad, was highly educated. He had a PhD, worked for the government, and truly believed in the traditional system. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, and work until retirement. On the other hand, his best friend Mike's father, the rich dad, had very little formal education. He didn't finish college, but he owned businesses, made investments, and understood how money really works. Over time, Rich Dad became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. The book isn't about who was better. It's about two completely different perspectives on money, risk, success, and education. And young Robert was caught between these two voices. Chapter 2. The Lesson Begins. At just 9 years old, Robert asked both dads, "How do I become rich?" Poor Dad told him, "Study hard, go to college, get a safe job." Rich Dad said, "Learn how money works. Let money work for you." This is where the real journey began. Rich Dad didn't give him handouts. Instead, he taught him through real experiences. One time, Robert and Mike worked at Rich Dad's convenience store for just 10 cents an hour. Eventually, Robert got frustrated and wanted to quit. But instead of giving him a raise, Rich Dad gave him something more valuable, a life lesson. He explained how the poor and middle class work for money, but the rich make money work for them. Let that sink in. Most people exchange their time for money, but time is limited. Wealthy people focus on creating assets that generate income even while they sleep. Chapter 3. The Rat Race. Rich Dad explained the concept of the rat race, something so many of us are stuck in without even realizing it. You get a job, you earn money, you spend it. Maybe you get a raise, and instead of saving, you upgrade. A bigger car, a better phone, a fancy lifestyle. Now you need more money to sustain it. You're trapped in a cycle, always working, always chasing. Poor Dad lived in that world. He had a good job but never built wealth. When emergencies hit, like medical bills or job loss, he struggled. Rich Dad, however, believed in building assets. He said, "The rich focus on acquiring assets. The poor and middle class acquire liabilities they think are assets." Wait, what does that mean? Chapter 4. Assets versus liabilities. Okay, this part hit me hard, and I think it will hit you too. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out. Here's the mind-blowing part. Your house is not always an asset. Most of us think buying a house means we've made it. But if that house is costing you a mortgage, property taxes, maintenance, and not earning you anything, it's a liability. The same goes for cars, luxury items, and more. Now, if you own a house that you rent out and it generates rental income, that's an asset. The rich understand this distinction and spend their lives building income-generating assets, real estate, stocks, businesses, intellectual property. Poor Dad would say, "I can't afford it." Rich Dad would say, "How can I afford it?" Shifting the focus from limitation to possibility. Chapter 5. Financial education is key. Rich Dad believed the most powerful tool you can have is financial education, not the kind you learn in school, algebra, and history, but real-world money skills. Let me ask you something. Did school ever teach you about taxes? About how to invest? About managing debt or creating passive income? Probably not. And that's the problem. We're trained to be employees, not entrepreneurs. We're told to avoid risks, not manage them. And because of that, most people live in fear of money instead of using it as a tool. Robert learned to read financial statements, understanding income, expenses, assets, and liabilities. He learned about cash flow. He learned about tax advantages that business owners and investors enjoy, while employees pay the highest taxes. Rich people aren't lucky. They're educated in a way most of us aren't. Chapter 6. Work to learn, not just to earn. This was such a beautiful and unexpected lesson. Rich Dad advised Robert to take jobs not for the paycheck, but to develop skills. Want to start a business? Work in sales to learn how to sell. Want to write a book someday? Work in marketing to learn how to promote it. Instead of chasing promotions or big salaries, the rich chase knowledge. Robert worked at Xerox, not because he loved the job, but to master sales. That skill later helped him sell ideas, close deals, and grow businesses. It's not about being perfect at one thing, it's about being well-rounded. The more skills you develop, communication, leadership, investing, sales, the more valuable you become. Chapter 7. Overcoming Fear and Greed. Let's talk about the two emotions that rule our financial lives: fear and greed. Fear keeps people stuck in jobs they hate. Fear of not paying bills. Fear of losing status. Fear of failure. Greed, on the other hand, makes people chase quick money, fall for scams, or live beyond their means. Rich Dad taught that financial intelligence means managing these emotions. Don't let them control you. Learn to observe them. When others panic, look for opportunity. When others get greedy, stay grounded. True freedom comes when you are in control of your emotions, not your paycheck. Chapter 8. The Power of Entrepreneurship. Robert and Rich Dad both believe that starting a business, even a small one, gives you the ultimate power: control over your income, your taxes, and your time. That doesn't mean everyone has to quit their job tomorrow, but building something of your own, on the side, can be life-changing. It could be a YouTube channel, like this one, a side hustle, a small investment, real estate, writing books, anything where you create value and let that value earn you income. Poor Dad believed in job security. Rich Dad believed in financial freedom. And you know what? That belief makes all the difference. Chapter 9. Making Money Work for You. Imagine this. You sleep peacefully at night, and money is still coming in. That's the dream, right? That's what Rich Dad meant by making money work for you. You don't have to be born rich. You just need to build or buy assets that generate cash flow. This could be rental properties, dividends from stocks, online businesses, royalties from books or music, affiliate marketing, licensing intellectual property. The idea is to build pipelines of income that keep flowing, even if you stop working for a while. Take action, even if it's small. Here's where Robert gets really real with us. He says, knowledge alone is not enough. We all read books, watch videos, dream about wealth, but very few take consistent action. Start small. Maybe it's reading more financial news. Maybe it's starting an emergency fund. Maybe it's investing 500 rupees a month into mutual funds. Maybe it's learning about real estate. You don't need to have everything figured out. Just start, one step at a time. You'll learn, adjust, and grow along the way. That's how Rich Dad built wealth, not overnight, but over time. Chapter 11. The Real Meaning of Wealth. This one touched my heart. Robert says, wealth is not how much money you make, it's how long you can survive without working. Think about that. If you lost your job today, how long could you keep living your current lifestyle without any income? That's your real wealth. Rich Dad taught Robert to measure wealth in time, not money. That's why passive income is so powerful. It buys you freedom. Freedom to choose what you do. Freedom to spend time with loved ones. Freedom to live life on your terms. Conclusion. So, what's the takeaway? So let's wrap this up, my friends. Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't just about money. It's about mindset. It's about unlearning what we've been taught about success. It's about taking control of your financial future. It's about thinking differently, taking risks, and learning continuously. Robert Kiyosaki's two dads gave him two very different blueprints. One led to job security, the other to financial freedom. Which one are you following? And here's the best part. You don't need to be born rich. You just need to be financially literate, emotionally strong, and willing to take action. Outro. If this summary opened your eyes even a little bit, I really encourage you to read the full book. It's simple, powerful, and could shift the entire direction of your life, just like it did for me. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more summaries and mindset videos, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Until next time, don't just work for money, make money work for you. Stay wise, stay wealthy. Peace out.